As the war in Ukraine drags into another year, captured Ukrainian soldiers are offering a candid look at the challenges they face, not just from the battlefield, but from the lack of preparedness and leadership within their ranks. One common theme has emerged in their testimonies: disappointment in the training they received from British instructors, who they say lacked the combat experience necessary to prepare them for the harsh realities of war. One of those soldiers, Valery Volkul, was captured after being sent to the front lines with minimal preparation. His account paints a troubling picture of the foreign training programs designed to equip Ukrainian forces. Volkul was among those sent to Britain for a month-long training course, but he expressed disillusionment with the process, saying that the instructors themselves had little combat experience.
The guys complained about the training itself. Our instructors said that without aviation and artillery, no army can stand. But these instructors didn't seem to know much about how modern warfare really works. They'd only been through a 3-month course themselves.
He pointed to an example that highlighted the training's inadequacies.
In the UK, we were using Bulgarian-made AKs, but those rifles jammed. You're supposed to load 30 rounds into the magazine, but we were loading only 25 because the rifle would malfunction. It's small things like this that tell you how unprepared we really were.
Volkul's frustration didn't end with the equipment. According to him, the instructors were hardly better off than the recruits.
Some of them were trained to be surgeons in Ukraine, sent to Zolochiv for a 3-month course, and then suddenly they're instructors. But they don't really have combat experience. They were just appointed because they needed someone to teach us.
For Volkul, the real frustration came after the training when he was sent to the front lines without adequate support. The sense of purposelessness was palpable as he described being deployed with little more than a rifle while coming under heavy fire from advanced Russian weaponry.
Why are they sending us there if all we do is sit and wait for something to hit us on the head? It feels like we're just cannon fodder. That's how it turns out. If there were some actual battles with small arms, I might understand it. But if you're just sitting there with an assault rifle and getting hit with everything from Solnspioks to 120mm mortars, I don't see the point of sending people.
Volkul's account points to a growing frustration within the Ukrainian armed forces, where soldiers are being sent into combat undertrained and under-equipped, with no clear strategy or support from the leadership. The reliance on foreign instructors, many of whom lack real combat experience, seems to exacerbate the problem. Volkul's experience is not unique. Another POW who was mobilized in early 2024 shared a similarly bleak assessment of the training and leadership in Ukraine's military. He was forcibly recruited despite suffering from asthma and sent to the front lines with little preparation.
They came to my house with the police and told me I had 2 choices. Either I go to serve or I go to jail. I didn't want to fight at all. It seems pointless to me. I have asthma. Before the war, they wouldn't even take me for military service. But now they're grabbing everyone because there's no one left.
Once in the army, he said, the lack of training and leadership was immediately apparent. His unit, the 150th Brigade, was sent into the field with minimal guidance and no experienced commanders.
They gave us a printed map and a 4-sheet of paper, a radio, and 2 batteries. No one explained how to use the map. We didn't even have a senior officer or commander with us, just 4 soldiers. We tried to follow the map, and we got lost. We radioed in, saying we don't know where to go. After that, they said a drone would lead us. The drone led us to the 5th point, but we never made it to the 6th.
His unit soon came under heavy shelling with no support from higher-ups.
We were shelled immediately, and no one even tried to come and get us or find us. It was terrifying. You don't know anything and there's no one to guide you. You feel like you're just being sent out as cannon fodder, probably just to see what's out there and report back, if you're lucky enough to survive.
These accounts reveal what appears to be a systemic issue within the Ukrainian forces. Soldiers, many of whom have no prior military experience, are being hastily mobilized and trained by foreign instructors who lack the combat experience needed to properly prepare them. Moreover, the lack of air and artillery support, coupled with poor leadership and outdated equipment, leaves them vulnerable to Russian firepower.
The training felt rushed and pointless. The British instructors tried, but they didn't really have the experience to teach us what we needed to know. And when you're sent to the front lines, it feels like they're just sending you to die.
The sense of disillusionment is compounded by what these soldiers perceive as a lack of strategy from the Ukrainian command.
We just sit and wait for something to kill us. We're not even fighting with small arms. We're just sitting there while the Russians hit us with thermobaric missiles and mortars. It's like they're sending us there just to get rid of us.
As Ukraine struggles to maintain its defense against Russia's superior firepower, stories like these highlight the immense pressure the Ukrainian military is under. While Western nations continue to provide support through military aid and training, the question remains: is it enough? According to these captured soldiers, the answer is no.
I don't understand why they're sending us out there like this. We're not trained properly, our equipment doesn't work, and we're up against Russian forces who have everything from drones to heavy artillery. It's a war we can't win like this.
These revelations challenge the Ukrainian leadership's portrayal of a resilient and organized defense. As more soldiers speak out about their experiences, it's becoming increasingly clear that the front lines are not just a battle against Russian forces, but also against inadequate preparation and leadership failures. For now, soldiers like Volkul remain trapped in a cycle of mobilization, poorly executed training, and frontline deployments that leave them exposed to overwhelming Russian firepower. And as the war grinds on, the question looms larger. How long can Ukraine sustain this defense before its forces and morale crumble under the weight of these challenges?